Hi, I'm Scott Patrick in the Dish Studio. Sometimes the largest creatures on our planet need the most protection. And when African elephants and rhinos need to be saved from poachers, they're lucky to have wildlife detective and professional hunter Ivan Carter there to help. The newest series on Outdoor Channel is CartersWAR. WAR stands for Wild Animal Response. CartersWAR is all new Monday nights on Outdoor Channel. That's $3.96 on Dish. Now, if you don't have Outdoor Channel, it's really easy to add it through the Outdoor Pack. 4 channels for the adventure, hunting, and outdoor enthusiast. To add the Outdoor Pack, just give us a call at 1-800-333-3474. That's 1-800-333-DISH. Our Jessica York recently sat down with Ivan Carter and his producer to talk about the war, the challenges, and the results.
When people and animals collide, things are never simple.
What's going on here?
In this wildlife-human conflict, I'm often called in to seek out the truth. To find out what's really happening on the front line.
This specific group of people has got to be stopped. It's going to be a bad couple of hours to be a poacher right now.
My name is Ivan Carter, conservationist and wildlife investigator.
CartersWAR, all new series, exclusively on Outdoor Channel.
So, CartersWAR, Monday nights on Outdoor Channel. I heard that you guys are calling this the most important series on any medium today.
You know, I think it's a show that dives into the real issues. We all know that wildlife across the world is being squeezed, but no more so than it's being squeezed in Africa. The human element, the human populations are growing at such a rapid rate that the wild areas and the wildlife within those areas are constantly under threat from multiple different perspectives.
We've got the wildlife manager of the ranch in front of us. We've got the veterinary vehicle behind us. And we could be in for a pretty wild ride.
Our story revolves around, it's not the beauty of a tribal person, and they are beautiful. It's not the beauty of a family of cheetahs sitting on top of a termite mound, and they are beautiful. It's where those two meet, and it's very often not such a happy meeting place. And that's the very essence of our story, is all of those places where that conflict actually happens.
He said there's a village just down the way here that's on an island. He said 2 or 3 people have gone missing from that village.
It's TV with soul. It's supposed to be stories that have a message at the end of the day, where the idea is that they get up and they tell their friends and they're excited to make a difference in something because they saw something that's very entertaining, but at the end of the day, it's something that had a really awesome and a really important message.
So, big takeaway in this show.
Absolutely, and I think that it's reality TV, but not the reality TV that when I say reality TV, it's so far removed from that. It's real from the perspective that we're not showing it from a Westerner's perspective. We're showing a crocodile story from the perspective of the kid who's got to walk down to the water every day to get a bucket of water to bathe in, to shower in, to wash his cooking pots in. And so it's very hard for a Westerner to imagine what it would be like to be frightened just to get water. And so when you get onto the front line, and there's parts of Mozambique, which is where we actually did the filming, where literally hundreds of people a year are taken by crocodiles. Understanding the tribal perspective, understanding the crocodile perspective, and understanding the conservationist perspective makes this whole very truthful story, but then packaging it in such a way that there's a solution where the general public can make a difference by getting engaged with that story. So I think that, to me, is what I'm so passionate about, because, like I say, it's not just entertainment. It's entertainment where we're taking you into the soul, the very heartbeat of these issues.
Mm-hmm. I saw on one of your promos that you said these are the stories that people aren't talking about. Why aren't they talking about them?
I think because in order to capture a dangerous story, you've got to be very close to the danger. It's not easy. It's not easy politically, it's not easy physically, and it's certainly not easy for the incredible crew that stands behind me carrying 40-pound cameras into and out of some of these scenarios. You know, you walk amongst a herd of elephants that may be a traumatized herd of elephants because you're in a poaching area. I've got the easy job. People also shy away from the stories because they're tough stories to hear, they're tough stories to watch. Nobody likes to see a rhino with its face cut off. Nobody likes to see a mother who's just lost their child to a crocodile attack. It's hard to even approach that scenario, but to approach it elegantly and to approach it eloquently and deliver the message in a way that you get the emotional buy-in from your audience, I think that's a tough thing, and I think that's why people shy away from the reality of this. And, you know, they're big stories, and they're really happening every single day.
It's not your average nature show.
It really isn't, Jesslyn, and I think that, you know, if I can be so bold as to say, I believe it's the most important show that's out there right now, and it's from a couple of perspectives. Primarily because it's telling the truth about wildlife issues that people rarely care about. It's entertaining people, which is what a TV show is meant to do, but in such a way that we are educating them and enabling them to realize that every single one of us can make a difference. What's the best way to raise $1 million for conservation? It's not to find someone to write $1 million check. It's to tell 10 million people and hope that some of them send you $1 each. Because if we can just teach them, then they'll know what the issue is, and if they know what the issue is, they'll support that issue.
You can see the speed that everybody's working at. The time limit is absolutely crucial. We've only got 15 minutes for them to do all of their work.
So right inside this needle is the microchip that's going to go into this horn, and then under the neck. And that microchip is going to make that horn trackable for the rest of his days.
Now, knowing what it's like to put on a television production, even just in this room, it's difficult. There's a lot of things that come along with it. How do you guys tackle just being in that element and then, you know, going to families, talking to them about things that they might not want to talk about, and being in an environment that's so extreme?
We set out on this show to make something that was really special, and we thought about in the same way that we would think about in making a big-time movie with a huge budget, which we don't have. And we basically selected people that would go out there, talented individuals that, you know, accepted the fact that they were going to put their lives at risk following Ivan up close with elephants and filming around in the water with man-eating crocodiles. It's a very dangerous thing, and, you know, basically it's about assembling the right team of people that are willing to do something because the cause is worth it.
So do you put that on the job application? You know,
No, I didn't mention it at all. I didn't tell them anything about how dangerous it is.
Yeah, well, you swim with sharks in LA.
Yes.
It's the same,
basically
right?
the same thing.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
You know, and I think that the very success of any TV show is the talent of the crew behind the talent. But I think what ends up happening is as you get immersed in it, you realize that this is a much bigger thing than just telling our story. Yeah. We have the opportunity to have a significant effect on conservation today by highlighting these efforts on the front line. And people ask me often, what is conservation? And it's very, very simple. It's enough passionate people on the front line with enough passionate support from around the world that can truly make a difference. And I think that we're educating people, and we're allowing those people on the front line to be seen and to be heard. And I think it's the crew behind me that does that. I'm just a very small part of this deal. So
I will note this. He might say he's a small part, but as a crew, oftentimes, and you know, you may have clips of this, but you know, he's getting charged by lions. He's having, you know, walking right up to elephants with no gun, knowing nothing. And you know, as a crew, we are in danger. But I mean, we're 80 yards back from where he is. So I mean, it's all sort of a relative amount of danger when you're working with Ivan Carter.
Hey, no! What's going on here? Some poachers actually bumped into the guys. No shots were fired, but it's all moving pretty fast right now.
It seems like the Outdoor Channel is the perfect place for a show like this. Do you think it's going to be well received by audiences?
yes, I definitely think so. One of the things about the Outdoor Channel viewership and people who follow the Outdoor Channel is they're people who love the outdoors. And I think we all love the outdoors. I'm hoping that a lot of non-Outdoor Channel viewers come and look at this show and realize the Outdoor Channel is a lifestyle channel. It's a channel where people who are passionate about the front line, about being outdoors, being in the woods, pursuing wildlife, whether it's to photograph them, whether it's to harvest them, it's people who are passionate about the outdoors, passionate enough that we want it to be there for our children. Because if we don't all strive to make a difference and make sure that it's conserved properly, it's not going to be there for our children. There's not a person on the planet that doesn't feel great stepping into the woods and taking a breath of wild air. What if we don't preserve that? Will our children ever be able to know what that feels like?
So what happens if I shoot the wrong one?
Listen, if you shoot one of them, then those will get scared. They'll run away from the
They won't.
Definitely.
They won't.
Because of blood.
No, I have to shoot the right one. The one which is chasing people is the one I'm going to shoot.
So how challenging is it to get people involved, whether it's the locals involved or us here in the States who, you know, sometimes people may never be in close proximity to a lion or an elephant without going to a zoo. So is it a struggle to get them to care about certain projects like this?
Jess, I think that that's a really, really good question. And I think that that's where a very passionate hosting, right in your face, in the midst of these issues. If we can tell these stories in a passionate enough fashion, people are going to become emotionally involved. I've got 44 minutes in an episode to engage people and have them rooting for the success of that mission. And so, literally, if we can get that message out to millions of Americans, and those people go, wow, how do I support that? Then we've made a difference.
That dog's going to be on those tracks and surrounded by people who are very good at hunting other people. It's going to be a bad couple of hours to be a poacher right now.
I am Ivan Carter, hunter, conservationist, and wildlife investigator.
Carter's War, all new series exclusively on Outdoor Channel.
Carter's War is all new Monday nights on Outdoor Channel. That's channel 396 on Dish. If you don't have Outdoor Channel, it's very easy to add through the Outdoor Pack. 4 channels for the adventure, hunting, and outdoor enthusiast. To add the Outdoor Pack, just give us a call at 1-800-333-3474. That's 1-800-333-DISH. Our thanks to Ivan and Branlin and everyone at Outdoor Channel. Don't miss Carter's War, Monday nights on channel 396. In the Dish studio, I'm Scott Patrick.